welcome to the Vigilance Committee, everyone. Today we have Galveston Island Transparency. We're going to showcase his body of work today. And here comes our intro. Okay, again, welcome everyone. Nikki, you want to go ahead and go over some things before we introduce our guest?
Sure. First off, I want to thank everyone for taking their time and being in here and spending this wonderful Sunday afternoon with us. Like Cliff said, we are showcasing Galveston Island transparency. Now, with that being said, for our mods, I know we said we wouldn't go over rules again, but we've kind of changed what we're going to do. We want everyone to focus on our guest and what is being presented. So if anybody is trying to take the focus away from the guest, then we'll do the timeout. Um, start little, let them come back. If they continue to be unable to focus, time them out again, and we'll just go from there. Like Cliff and I have agreed, we are trying to have everybody act like an adult and focus on our guests that we have, and hopefully we can all learn something.
Perfect. And welcome again, Galveston Island Transparency. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in the body of work that we're going to show today?
Yeah, so I had noticed in my neighborhood that there was a little bit of an issue with police overstepping. They would come in for like noise complaints and stuff, some pretty basic things, and they would end up inside of houses searching and whatnot. And I'd been watching the 1A community for a while and figured I'd pick up a camera and I'd video the next incident that I saw. My first one was actually on Kappa weekend, which is in April. And I basically just walked down the road. I thought I was going to go over there and be like some big cop watcher auditor. And I walked down the road and I was surrounded by police. And all I managed to do was figure out the numbers on all the police cars and went home. And then about a week later, I noticed them harassing one of my neighbors about 2 or 3 streets over. And I walked over with my dog. And I think that takes us to our first video. This is the first time I actually spoke to the police officers.
Perfect. We're going to go ahead and share that now. And it's about 6 minutes and 58 seconds, and we may pause, we may not. It just depends on what's happening here. So here we go.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right.
Right here, this first one we meet, this is going to be Franklin. Franklin will come into play in a couple more videos.
How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Is your car right here?
No, sir.
You do it better go back. Go back.
Huh?
You do it better go back home.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate you. Video and make sure keeping us on.
Yep. Yep.
Do me a favor, stay at least back here, okay?
I'm not trying to cause you guys problems or anything. Just
Yeah, no, that's all I'm asking you to do. Just you can
We're
video
cool.
us all you want. Just stay out of our way.
we're cool. We're cool.
I had a huge beard at this point. You can see some of my mug shots too. Good for me. So it's hard to see, but they're in there searching that garage. He's got his flashlight out. And that's Williams. Williams' entire room. He's that.
So is the homeowner in the garage with the cop and he's giving him permission to be in
Yeah.
there?
So what happened here is a girl was having her graduation party, and this was her grandmother's vacation home. Just a little 800 square foot beach house, and somebody parked on the street, and then the Karen across the street in the $250,000 house called because she was afraid she was going to back into somebody's car because of her driving abilities, I guess, and then called the police to have the car moved from a totally legal parking spot. So she called the police, and then the police see that there's a bunch of teenagers running right around the legal drinking age, and there's alcohol there. When the cops leave after the video stops, teenagers start coming out of the woodwork. There are teenagers hiding in dark spots all over the neighborhood right now. But they're in there giving her a hard time. And yeah, we'll run through it and we'll see her a little bit closer to the end. But he's back in there, and Franklin has just now let him know that I showed up with the camera. And as you can tell, he's well aware of why I'm there and what I'm doing. When I walked up to the camera, I think he knew exactly what was up.
All right, let's continue.
I no longer use this camera.
How's it going? This is for your protection.
Thank you.
For real. I know these guys. This is for your protection.
Thank you.
Hey, sir, is this your property?
No, it's not.
Okay, would you mind stepping off the property?
I'm not on their property, sir. This is a public easement.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
Can he park here or no?
It's pretty dog.
Yeah, that's Earl, man.
Five better?
Him.
You friendly?
Earl's
Hey.
super friendly.
What's his name?
Go ahead and
Earl.
stop.
Earl. Hey, Earl. Hey. Hey,
Brian, is that you?
how are you?
Move your car over here.
That
Yes,
is
please.
You want to pause real quick, Cliff?
I don't answer questions.
Hey, is it okay if he moves the car over here?
Yeah, he's moving
So
that
it's
car.
out of the
He's getting
street?
here. Sir, would you mind stepping aside so I can put the cars together?
No problem.
Thank you.
So right there, and that popped up. But right there, this is going to become pertinent in 2 weeks because he arrested me for what he figured out right there. He went to pet my dog, but he grabbed a hold of his collar, spun it around, and checked his tags. And that's why I said, like, we don't answer questions, is because my dog's tags were out. So he pockets that information from this interaction and arrests me on it in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna tell him come over here so you can put right here. Right? It's gonna be exciting for me.
He's street smart, really,
How much do you guys?
In that driveway up there, I can talk to you. I just want to step up there.
I
Go somewhere else.
got you.
They called and got a hold of him and he's moving it.
Note that he says he'll talk to me later. That's a lot.
Yeah, well, it's now in the driveway. It's not in the middle of the road.
No, you're fine though. I see.
Okay.
I'm going this way a little bit. Dad, this way. This way. No. Come this way. This way. Yes.
Nice.
That way more. Good. Keep turning this way. Dude, you're about to hit my. No, stop. Right. Turn that way. You still gotta fit over there.
You too. What do we got? 1756. Hey, do you have a card?
At this point, Galveston did not carry any cards. They have now changed that, dude.
Do you have a card, sir?
A pesky guy with a camera.
Do you have a card?
I do not have a card. They don't give us cards.
Okay. Name and badge?
Officer Franklin, 618.
Right on. Thank you, sir. Hey, man. Have a good night, guys. 1764. Okay. Wow. So
right there, she comes out and starts talking to me, and he starts talking to me, and the girl is in tears because they've been going through her grandma's house, and they're calling people. Like it was a mess. And luckily, I was able to get him out of there and leave them kids alone. So, and then I actually followed them. They went straight down to the beach and started harassing some people at the beach. But if you notice, Williams did not stop to talk to me like he said he would. He wouldn't identify himself, and he took off.
Yeah, that's standard. As soon as they get done after they said they would talk to you, they just run away.
Yeah. They even stopped at the next stop sign and pulled up next to each other, blocking the road. And so I started jogging, which for me is actually a pretty good feat. And then I got within about 20, 30 foot of them, and they hightailed it out of there. They were like, no. I was like, hey, you said you were going to talk to me. That's it. Yeah, on some other video on a hard drive somewhere. But,
yeah, so that was your very first audit, basically. I mean, the real audit anyway. Okay.
Yeah, it was the first time I actually had interaction with them and conversed with them while holding a camera. So.
And then you got arrested for it 2 weeks later out of retaliation for videoing them.
Yeah, pretty much. Like there was a small incident where an off-duty officer had rented an Airbnb in my neighborhood, and he was allowing his teenage daughters to drive the golf cart around, which, I mean, whatever. But they almost hit some people and caused an accident. And I was trying to be polite about it. And I was like, hey, let's just go talk to your dad. And, let's just simmer it down. And when I got there, He asked if I was an officer, told me he was, his kids were fine, called the cops, told him I was, a 50-year-old guy out chasing girls in a golf cart. And yeah, yeah. And I mean, we drove 3 houses to the driveway, and I shook the man's hand, and he went off like that. And Williams, he said that he was an officer, and I told him he was a piece of shit, and for letting his kids run around like that, and for saying that they were okay just because he was an officer. I was like, man, you're a piece of shit, and I left.
Yeah.
So they got me for disorderly conduct.
Okay, I hate to interrupt, but number one, Harvey Freebird did make it in, so whatever message you sent to him must have went through. And then Four Corners, fist in the air. Galveston Island Transparency is wanting to speak with you about a project. So I guess you guys can change email addresses.
Yeah, I wanted to put something together for what he's got going on after watching his panel last week. So,
all right, and I think I might have texted him your phone number, but I'm not sure. You did give me permission to do that, right?
Yeah. I got a lot of phone numbers that day. We got a lot of communication going on, and I mislabeled some. I thought I was talking to Rogue one day when I was talking to you, so I didn't. So that incident went down and they arrested me. I get out in the morning and come home, charge up my phone, and take a video of the license plates in front of this house that I just got arrested for talking to a police officer. And the officer even admitted to GPD that his kids were doing illegal stuff, and GPD is like, oh, we don't care. They arrested me. But this next video is after I took, let's play this next video and we'll see how they acted at this. I'd been out of jail at this point for 5 hours.
All right.
Hey, get off my phone. On your phone, holding your phone. License plate.
Like digging.
So wait, he's got your phone?
Yeah. This is my intro hook, so it'll all explain itself here shortly.
Okay.
And all that choppiness is the GPD body cam and how the GPD body cam comes to you.
Okay.
Look at him. Yeah. But we'll get to that. We might even be able to flash forward through my intro a little bit. No warrant.
Okay, so this is your vehicle there, and
yeah, that's my golf cart. So if you fast forward about a minute, we can get through like my channel intro. There we go. Just go ahead and hit that.
You want to start right?
You can start right about there. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. So, short explanation on this video, just to provide a tiny bit of background. They had arrested me the night before for disorderly conduct, and I'd been out of jail at this point for like 4 or 5 hours. Okay, so you'll kind of hear them alluding to it. They went hands-on the night before for no reason, tackled me to the ground. That's still in court, so I don't have the body cam. I was taking video footage on my GoPro, but when I got my GoPro back and I turned it on, it had a brand new memory card in it that hadn't been formatted yet. So we'll get the video for that as soon as we can. But
same
let's
arresting
get into
officer.
This.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is the same guy. This is the same guy the next day, and they're like, "Oh, we're not going to tamper with your video, Bruce. That's ridiculous." And yeah, we'll see what happens here in a couple minutes. They caught me at the stop sign in my golf cart.
Hands on right away.
I'm driving to the store. Why are you
Step off the.
you guys doing this?
You're gonna do this again?
What are you guys
Come on, man.
doing this for?
Do this again. I didn't do shit the first time.
What? I'm not harassing anybody. What are you guys
Don't do this
doing?
again. Don't do this again.
Watch him push me right here.
I stumbled right there when you pushed me. Don't be like that.
I'm just making sure you're not gonna fall forward, dude, and putting you against your little.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The night before, I had a camera and this dog in the other, and they tackled me for being violent.
He pushed you forward and then said, "I'm just trying to stop you from falling."
So they have a routine here. He pushes me, and then Doherty says, "Bruce, stop."
Yeah,
Okay.
stop resisting. Yeah.
Yes. In order to get me, because I'm a 200. Well, actually, here I was probably like 230, 240. I was doing pretty good on the diet thing, but I'm a thick kid. You know what I mean? So they're doing their best to. They want to beat me up, and
Yeah.
it'll be evident in the next video because Doherty here, this sergeant runs these guys, and he's been running all of these guys through this whole next set of videos.
But wait, you said that they wanted to beat up. Okay, but yet hang on. You also just said that you're a thick kid, a big kid.
Yeah.
So, wouldn't the officers, since they are arresting you, whether legal or illegally, but wouldn't the officers need to have some type of control, especially since, per your own words, you are a big kid?
Yeah, and having control is one thing, but I was standing there allowing myself to be handcuffed, and you can see with his hand what he actually does is pushes me, thereby putting me off balance and actually out of control to where I have to find a way to stabilize myself, and then they can interpret that action however they want.
Yeah, they can say, "Don't resist, don't do anything."
Because being a big guy, when you put my hands behind my back like that, my ability to balance is greatly diminished.
Yep. Here we go.
What are you? I didn't harass anybody. Where is your proof of harassment?
Any guns, knives, hand grenades, anything like that? My purpose on record?
Right there, he deletes the video that I'm taking. Right there, he deleted that video that I started when
Get
they
off my
pulled up.
phone.
Not on your phone, holding your phone. License plate.
Let's read that.
So the edge of view comment comes into more effect here in about 15 seconds. You'll see that he's pretty good at keeping it just off to the side of his body camera. Now, one thing that he's also going to do as he comes around, he's going to act like he's looking for the sticker on the golf cart, basically its license plate. The license plate.
Oop, what happened?
Oh,
Thank you.
I think we froze.
Did we all freeze, or
No,
did
just
everybody in the
just
chat
him.
hear us? Okay, so he froze. All
Yeah.
right, so let's wait for him to get back here.
And I think what he was going to say is the license plate for the golf cart usually is just like a sticker. And I know in certain areas the sticker is on the front of the vehicle.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys kind of, I don't know if I slowed down or you guys slowed down, but yeah.
You froze on us, so glad to have you back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm on Starlink, so sometimes I slow down. Yeah, the sticker is in a very specific spot. So you can see in this video, you can see his stall tactics a little bit here. And yeah, as he's working through my videos. I mean, he's actually in my photo gallery.
Wow. Got it off his body cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
he's definitely fiddling around and doing something with it.
Exactly. See, now he's looking around like he's looking for something.
And he's out of your sight.
Oh, there it is. City of Galveston.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you got the body cam footage for this.
They tried to get this deleted. Like, he knows where that's at. There's thousands of golf carts on this island.
So he's just stalling, trying to get your stuff. And
Wait a minute, Clip. Back it up a little bit. Well, you'll probably have to play the ad now.
yeah, and I'll back it up.
All right, so you can hear me tell Reyes
You
to
can
get
back
out
it
of
up
my
a little
phone.
bit,
He
Cliff.
said,
That just happened spontaneously at that perfect time.
To a little bit more. Okay. Right. Hang on, he's got to move that phone.
Yeah,
Because it looks like the phone is still right in there. Is the phone still recording, or was that something you had already recorded?
That was something I'd already recorded. He found the video from about an hour earlier when I drove by the house. What they're claiming was harassment.
And deleted your footage.
He deleted my footage of them walking up to me on this stop. Okay. But he did not delete the footage from 20 minutes before. And that footage I'll actually play. It's, I think this video is set up pretty well. So let's go ahead and let it do its thing.
Okay.
Go for Mason.
And again, this choppiness is from the GPD. This ain't us.
all right, so you can hear me tell Reyes to get out of my phone, and he says he's just holding my phone. He knows damn good and well he ain't supposed to be in that phone, especially not deleting video. I'm going to play this little news story that they ran about Officer Reyes in his previous department, and then we'll get back to Doherty's body cam and do a little recap there at the end. So watch
This
on
is actually
through
pretty
this.
pertinent. Because I've come to
Fort
find
Bend
out.
County investigators say they have now uncovered a Precinct 3 deputy constable being dishonest, and now all the criminal cases he's worked on will be reviewed.
The big question tonight is how many people could be in jail or in prison or facing trial because of this officer's alleged untruthfulness. Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us live from the Fort Bend County Criminal Justice Center with the exclusive on this story tonight. Hey, Randy.
Hey, Caitlin. Deputy Jordan Reyes was with the Precinct 3 Constable's office here in Fort Bend County for 3 years. Constable Wayne Thompson says Reyes resigned after he was told the DA's office would no longer allow him to testify in trials or file any criminal charges. Precinct 3 Deputy Constable Jordan Reyes arrested Sean Lee Jr. last April following a traffic stop.
I told him I don't know how to get in my car. And after that, he got real aggressive and like he's screaming at me to get out of my car.
Sean Lee Jr. spent the night in jail, but then the felony charge of aggravated assault of a peace officer Reyes filed against him suddenly disappeared.
It's the first time in my activist career that I've seen anyone, male or female, white or black, charged with a felony of assaulting a police officer, and the charges are dismissed the very next day.
According to this letter from the Fort Bend County DA's office, Reyes had a pattern of making untruthful statements in his...
Okay, so Fort Bend, where is that?
That is across the causeway. It takes me about 10 minutes to get to the end of the island and then another 20 minutes to get to Fort Bend.
Yeah, okay. Fort Bend is has part of Houston.
Okay, so let me get this straight here. Basically, he's on the Brady list in that county. He resigns and then shows up in your county.
Yeah, that way he didn't have to
typical, isn't it?
change his house. Yeah.
Yep, that's
And
typical that they do that. They resign from one department because they're in trouble, and then they go to another department that doesn't know. I mean,
doesn't
they've
Brady
got to
list.
know. They've got to know that he was on this list where he couldn't testify.
Well, there's not a
and
list
and
over there.
doesn't it come across though? I mean,
Nikki, I think that we were talking about this last week, or in one of the panels. I think it was on Four Corners panel. Was that Galveston doesn't have a Brady list? I don't think Fort Bend has a Brady list. They don't utilize the system. They just restrict these officers to the point that they quit and then just move right next door.
Yeah. And,
wow.
Yeah, just like Galveston County officers are on the Brady list, but the city of Galveston officers, there are none from the city of Galveston. And when
that we
you
can
do
see.
that we can see, correct. But when you do go to the National Brady list, there are departments that when you go to look them up, it does say that they are not in compliance.
Yeah. And I think
there's no punishment for them not being in compliance. And with police departments knowing that other police departments aren't in compliance, most of them don't even check the Brady list before they hire.
And that's something I'll bring up at the next city council meeting here.
Yep.
Because I'm going to bring up this stop. The city attorney hid the attorney general's ruling from me for 108 days. You have 10 days to respond to that attorney general's ruling. And after 90 days of no response, the city deletes body cam. Luckily, the city clerk is not, let's just say that she made sure that this body cam was kept. And when I resubmitted for this body cam so that I would have a chance to fight the attorney general ruling, this body cam came to me in 3 days.
Wow. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, they had it ready to go for me. They knew what was up.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and continue.
His reports. The letter goes on to say this office would no longer sponsor Deputy Reyes as a witness, nor permit him to file affidavits of probable cause. Precinct 3 Constable Wayne Thompson says Reyes did not violate the law when he arrested Sean Lee Jr., and a Fort Bend County grand jury agreed. But he says Reyes resigned when he learned about what the DA's office had uncovered.
We certainly don't want inaccurate reports or false reporting. And then secondly, we never want to put people in jail that don't belong there. No one wants that. I certainly don't want it. The DA doesn't want it, and it's not the right or fair thing to do.
The DA's office tells me they will be reviewing every case Jordan Reyes was a part of during his 3 years as a Precinct 3 deputy constable.
And if they're in jail, let's get them out of jail, because they shouldn't be in jail because the cop lied on them.
So
this is a relatively new case, and the DA's office says they can't.
So was there any follow-up on that? Were other people released from jail? Was there? I mean,
I haven't been able to find anything on it. And, you know, with this being there, let's recognize that the city attorney who is taking cases from this man are the people that tried to withhold this video of him deleting video. And actually, they withheld this from me and drug their feet so long, it broke past the 2 years so that he can no longer be held legally liable for his actions in this stop.
Wow.
And, which to me sounds like they are fully aware of what's happening. And I also want to point out that that man was arrested for felony, what was it, assault on a police officer.
Yeah,
And let's look at what Reyes did there by pushing me and hoping that he can get a reaction out of me. And hoping that he can get me off balance so that the other officer feels like I'm reacting, you know, because he's doing something down there at my waist. And anybody that's ever been a wrestler or anything understands if you can shove somebody's hips around, you can direct that person wherever you need them to go. So talk about a pattern of abuse.
And Cliff, you have to realize, you know, in that area, you've got Galveston County, you've got Fort Bend County, and then right up the road, you've got Harris County.
Then you have
Okay.
Brazoria County in the middle there too.
Yeah, and Brazoria. And these officers just flip-flop back and forth. You've got a lot of small towns or you did have in that area where, you know, they might only have a part-time police force.
So there's a really unique thing that happens here at the coast is that they can extend, it's almost like gerrymandering. If they can extend the boundary or the boundaries of their city or their county to get it to touch the Gulf Coast, they're eligible for different federal grants. They only need it to touch the coast for 2 miles. So they've got like these little slivers, these little panhandles that jet out of jurisdictions. And it's a mess.
Sounds like corruption to me. Now, is there any more on this?
Yep, we're going to go to the other officer's body camera right after this.
Okay.
This is just about done.
Tell us yet just how many cases will need to be reviewed because of Reyes's alleged untruthfulness. Now, could this mean cases will be overturned? More than likely. Of course, we will continue to keep you updated on this, keep you posted. Reporting live from Fort Bend County,
They always say that. We'll keep you updated, keep you posted, but then they never do because they never follow up. I think that's part of the problem too.
Well, isn't that part of the mainstream media, though? Is they say what they need to say because they're getting paid.
Yeah.
But they say that kind of stuff to keep their viewers.
Yep.
And ironically, what we're trying to do here is to prevent that within our community, to teach people how to hold these guys accountable and how to follow up.
Yep. Yep. That's why we need First Amendment auditors, is because mainstream media does not do.
I got a hold of this guy. I got a hold of Randy Wallace and let him know. He says that he's going to update everybody, right? Yeah. I got a hold of him, sent him this video, and told him, hey, if you're going to update everybody, let him know that the guy moved over to Galveston. He's doing the same thing.
I don't think he controls this, though. I think it's the news station, right?
Well, but I sent him a personal email. So, somebody's going to decide whether or not they're going to allow him to do the story for sure.
Right. Yep.
Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
Yeah, so he falsely accused me of felony stalking. I wonder how many cases GPD is going to have to review after this.
Felony stalking, and that's something that a lot of 1A auditors get charged with too, simply for filming. They try to give them the harshest charges they can. It's crazy.
So we'll kind of skip past this part we'll play, but the very end of this we'll skip past because the audio and everything's messed up. But in part of that, you can hear them talking about how when I drove by, I didn't stop, I didn't speak to anybody, I didn't do anything, and they're like, dude, there's no harassment charge. And then they're trying to figure out what to charge me with, and then all of a sudden, of course, the body cam goes off. The body cams go off for 5.5 hours before I'm in custody. They kept me in cars and other things for 5.5 hours before even taking me to the department.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, without the AC on, they hotboxed me for an hour and a half in my neighborhood in front of all of my neighbors, and then charged me with felony stalking of kids.
That's just asinine.
Well, you know, the process is the punishment. It doesn't matter if I can beat the felony stalking of kids charge.
I'm not harassing anybody.
There you are. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. Come on, Bruce.
Who am I harassing?
Come on. The people that we arrested you for last night. Come on, step off the golf cart.
I can drive to the store.
Step off the golf cart.
Sir, I'm driving to the store. Why are you?
Step off the golf cart.
Why are you guys doing this?
Put your hands behind your back.
You're going to do this again? What are you guys
Come on, man.
doing this
You're going to do this
for?
again. Stop.
What? I'm not harassing anybody. What are you guys doing?
Don't do this again. Bruce?
I stumbled right there when you pushed me.
You can see real good how hard
I'm
he
just
pushed
making sure you're not going to fall forward, dude, and putting you against your little...
You got a preference on a record? Huh?
What?
proof of harassment.
With Norwegian, wake up to a new city nearly every...
A record? Huh? Hey.
So of course they're stealing your property too.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually a customer's card. I was putting on a custom aluminum top for it. The funny part is they steal her cart. She's a Harris County Sheriff's deputy and not like a little one. She's big, big time.
Wow.
You're arresting me?
Yeah, yeah, she ran their ass.
Harassment.
How did I harass them?
Driving by and videotaping them. Step in the car.
Driving by and videotaping
It says it right there.
Yeah.
And they
Driving
waited
by and
so long that I couldn't sue on it. They ran this out. They ran this out so far that I didn't get the evidence of what was going on and know that I had evidence to sue until it was too late.
That's typical too. That's SOP, standard operating procedure.
Step in the
For
truck.
license plates. There's nothing
Step in
illegal
the
about
truck.
videotaping from my golf cart.
Numbers on John River, just rep. 1289 1282.
So this is
Pure and
important.
simple, you did not commit a crime. Videotaping as you're driving by. That is
Yeah.
not a crime.
No, and we'll see the actual video. So when we do this, I do believe that we watch him watching the video first, and you can actually hear the wind noise in the microphones.
Yeah,
So-
he's bent down there fiddling with the phone. He doesn't want anybody to see.
I think right now he's looking at the plate, but yeah, let's go ahead and watch it comes across.
The Oklahoma Outlaw audits, Galveston Island Transparency. Which one is the Brady officer? The one that had your phone, or
The one that has my phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
Reyes.
Yeah. Yep, the one that needs to be on the Brady list is the one that has my phone.
I accidentally lost my place here.
Yeah. Okay, back up just a little bit there, Cliff. Go back up to this a little bit more. Right there. Go from right there.
Okay.
Wait, you're arresting me?
Yes, sir. What for? Harassment.
Yeah, we'll go through this again, but yeah. So yeah,
How did I harass
the guy that's known in Fort Bend County for
Videotaping them.
questionable practices of
license plates? There's nothing
There we
illegal
go.
about videotaping from my golf cart.
Numbers on John River, just rep. 1289
well, wouldn't videotaping from your golf cart be the same thing as them running their dash cam wherever they go?
Yeah, or just standing in the street videoing like we all
Oh,
do.
they should be arrested. They're breaking the law.
Yeah. So if you listen real close, they sit here and
We have
talk
one in
about
custody. I'm gonna need next out police pickup for a golf cart at Zachary and Mason. You ain't got no you do. You ain't got, huh?
I left all my stuff in the car.
Cliff, can you
Well,
pause
I
it
did
a
my
second? Thank you. Mad Hatter Corbett, welcome in. However, we do not need to have outside conversations in our channel. We are trying to focus on Galveston Island transparency. Please act like an adult and stay focused. Thank you.
hey, DC and News in here. What's up, guys? So notice that he's pointing his body cam away while Reyes is sitting over here to the left.
So he doesn't want to get his body cam on it either.
Yep.
So he ain't nobody. He's got video license plates in his golf cart.
Oops. Oops, it's on body cam. Oops. Fiddling with his phone.
Listen close. Note how it gets loud right there, and remember that. 5 seconds before that, he says, I stopped in the middle of the road, and it gets really loud. This is the video that he's watching. Those two houses were partying together. I was getting close. That's where he says I stopped. Oh, I didn't hear it. But yeah.
And that's what you got arrested for.
Yep. I got arrested for driving by and taking that video. The guy in the back is a sergeant in the homicide division of the Houston Police Department. So they were bootlicking. These guys didn't even get a call for service through the standard, through the dispatch. He called Doherty personally.
On his cell phone, probably. Oop, you froze up again. There you are. No.
Okay. He called Doherty personally to have him come out and get me. This was the call for me being here wasn't dispatched.
Wow.
Yeah.
And were you able to get their cell phone call?
No, because now it's that they put this off for so long and put me through everything for so long. Everything got deleted out. You know, no record.
Wow.
No record of it.
They have the most records or some stuff. They have like.
And the whole reason for this harassment is because you are a 1A auditor. I mean, we can't prove it, but why are they going through all this trouble, people? Think about that.
And the reality of it is I hadn't even been a 1A auditor. I didn't even have a YouTube channel when I took this video.
So they didn't want you to become one either. That's why they were arresting you. Let's nip it in the bud right now.
They recognized it 2 weeks before, and Williams and Franklin knew exactly what I was doing. And then Williams was on the stop the night before this. They knew Williams and Reyes were running around together in the unit, and they recognized what I was starting to do. And they just started, because they beat me up and took me and my dog to jail. I had to get out of jail and walk to the pound and get my dog.
We can't have people videoing us because that'll mess up what we're really doing, which is where potential corruption comes in, folks. That's why they're doing these things. It's because they're breaking the law, and they're breaking the law by doing to you what they're doing to you as well.
Yeah, I had video of them coming after me and my dog while that officer was admitting to the fact that his kids were doing illegal things, and they told them not to worry about it, that they were totally fine.
Wow. Nikki, you took yourself off mute. Do you have something that you wanted to say?
Well, I mean, just like always, I'm going to say, why do people always think that they have to video everybody while they're just doing their job? I mean, come on. They're just doing their job, so why are you bothering them with the video?
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
because I'll tell you why. Because these two body cams right here cost me almost $300 just to see what they were doing. I know that they have their body cams to prove it, and this high quality footage we have from the Galveston Police Department cost me $300.
Yeah, and there's a reason for it. because they're trying to hide what they're really doing. And that's why you need to video government officials in the course of their duties, because there's shenanigans going on, people. Everybody knows that there's corruption within our government. Come on, you know. The only objective witness is a video, a camera. It doesn't lie. So that's why they have to video everything. Yeah.
Yeah, permit on it.
So there ain't much here except for these guys fiddle farting around trying to figure out.
Moving placard.
Okay.
That I'm completely, no, they figure out I'm completely legal. They figure out that there's no real reason for them to tow it, but they tow it anyway.
Yeah. And then 5.5 hours driving you around from vehicle to vehicle, hotboxing you.
They pull up another car. They made me sit there until they towed it. They pull in another unit. They call in another unit to transport me, and then just shut the AC off and sit back there. The camera was on inside of it, and I was like, I need reasonable articulable suspicion. Like, I went through it. I went through the whole thing on camera trying to bust their qualified immunity for court, and that video is nowhere to be found. I was watching the counter on the video while I was sitting there explaining the situation to the little screen in there.
So well, if they're not, so they're destroying evidence, basically.
Yeah,
is what they
destroyed that evidence. So we can go to the next video then, which is go home or go to jail. So this is 2 weeks later with the same sergeant, but then it's Franklin from that original one, the one that told me to go down the street.
All right. So we got everything in chronological order as to the events that are going on, which is good. I like this. And this one's only a minute and 47 seconds. So let's
it only took him a minute and 47 seconds to arrest me.
Wow. Now, where are you right now?
I'm at the boat ramp, which is actually at the beginning of those last videos when they were in their cars. They were sitting right here at this boat ramp, and then they saw me down at the end of the street and came up because I'm within 200 yards of my house.
So, okay, so but you're on public property, right?
No, I'm on private property owned by the HOA that I pay dues for.
All right, so you have a right to be there.
Yeah.
Hi, we're visible.
But we keep running right into commercials.
Seriously, hidden fees?
Yeah, we're going to get a paid account.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, can you not do that?
Here's our.
I remember this.
What are you doing that for? Hey.
Can I help you?
Oh, I heard a call for service, and I was just seeing what you guys were up to. Huh? I didn't make a call for service.
Okay, then go away.
Why are you being rude to me?
I'm not being rude to you. You have nothing to do with this, so I need you to go away. Either that, I'll put you in handcuffs and go to jail for interfering.
Interfering with what, sir?
Our investigation.
What? I don't understand what you're investigating. I'm a local homeowner, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
You have nothing to do with this, correct?
No.
Okay, then go somewhere else or go to jail.
Wait, why are you threatening me with jail just for asking you?
If you don't leave, you're going to jail for interfering.
Sir, you're a public. Like what? I don't understand.
Let's go somewhere else.
Why are you causing a problem?
That's when I realized it was one of the guys. So if you stop right here.
Why are you being rude?
You know whose boat this is?
All right. So at the door of that car is Sergeant Doherty. The one in the middle is Officer Bilbrey. I've just found a bunch of video of her beating up some women and doing some other stuff. She is a violent thing. And then just to the right, that is Officer Franklin.
Okay. So they're all three tyrants.
My business.
No, yeah.
Go away and go to jail. Just last morning.
There's no video of this.
Go away or go to jail for what? Interfering with what? No, I'm gonna leave. I'm on private property. Why are you beating me up, dude? What are you doing? Yo.
So right there, Franklin, they don't even have me in
Is this your
handcuffs.
car?
They don't even have me in handcuffs. The very first thing that they do after tackling me to the ground is grab that phone and shut it off. They have their body cams off. They have their dash. There's one dash cam on, and it's that truck pointed out at the water. That's it.
They just make sure nobody sees what they're doing to you.
Exactly. And while Franklin's shutting off my phone, right there at the end where I say yo, I took a handcuff to the back of the head right behind my ear. And as most people know, getting hit at that spot, right, that tender lump right behind your ear, that's a dangerous spot to be hitting people. And she punched me in the back of the head. I thought it was him for a little bit. I wasn't sure because there was like tiny hands on my phone. And so I thought it was a lady person, but it turns out Franklin has tiny hands. So,
wow.
Tiny tyrant. So that's all it took. Minute and a half.
Okay. And once again, they're talking about compiling a list of officers for the Brady list. Yeah.
What did we find out last night, Nikki, for Matthew's case?
You really want? Okay. I know that in the paperwork for Matthew Reardon, actually in his case, available public record, that there is 4 Brady notices that no one has access to publicly. There is also a review on film that states that there is Brady list violators that are included in the case, and that there is at least one officer.
Yeah, let's not name the officer, but we know who it is. And we can talk offline about that because we don't want to give out too much.
And the relevance of that is that that case is in Galveston, and those are Galveston officers that are being protected in that Brady list situation. So.
Correct. Yep. And there's also protective orders listed
which
right
I guess
before the Brady notice.
I guess is standard in Galveston. They make the defendant. They put them on a protective order. The cops on order of protection against the defendant. Is that standard?
I've seen Galveston do that a couple of times, which I find really ironic because in my Facebook work, I end up with a lot more local stuff, and the number of people that send me video but then ask me not to put it out, that they're letting me compile the information in one spot, but they really don't want to be thrown under the bus because after the incident, they were seeing police officers in front of their house 3 and 4 and 5 times a day until, they feel that like the point was made.
So they definitely harass.
Yeah. So the irony of it is the protective order should be for the citizens against the officer.
Right.
But
yeah, it's like they project.
But the island being so small, by them doing it the opposite way, if you go to the grocery store and walk by that officer and say anything, they stack the cards in there really heavily. And I think that if we start looking, we're going to find a lot of Brady list officers. Galveston is known for its police union. The police union is openly making comments about that other case and making accusations with information that aren't even public knowledge. It's pretty interesting. So officers, this is like the last ditch department. If you're getting bounced around and you're a transient officer, Galveston's your last ditch department. They're like, man, if you can't make it in Galveston, man, you might need to, go be a security.
You can't make it anywhere. Because Galveston likes these types of officers, the ones that lie on police reports,
so
make lots of arrests.
So on that
Really
video that we
harassed.
just watched, that is the one that started this lawsuit. So for those of you that have stuck around this long, I have filed a 1983 lawsuit on 6 accounts on 3 officers, 2 on this one, on Franklin and Doherty for standing there watching it, and then on Caldwell. And I'm kind of bringing this up just because they don't even lighten up on me, but they do a whole bunch of harassment. Cliff, you saw that list that I sent you of all the weird little things. It's not that it's something that we need to bring up, but they were doing welfare checks, and they would arrest me and throw me into this, that, and the other thing. But here's some paperwork on my lawsuit. And if we actually, gosh, yeah, it starts there, just statement 1 of these facts. But if we go down, for the most part, they're just harassing me. And Good Citizen News and News Now Ninja came down, and they got under Officer Caldwell's skin. And on January 1st of 2023, right there, we start talking about it. And Lieutenant Caldwell came into the driveway on my commercial property, and I went down to see what was going on because I was leaving to go to the funeral of my grandmother, and I was working late, and we'd had problems with theft out here. So there's a police officer in the driveway, a private drive for a couple of these commercial businesses, but it's a private driveway that I own. And I went to see what was going on because we have issues. I got up to the car. I asked what was going on. Officer Caldwell looked and turned and looked at me. I didn't even know it was Caldwell. And he opened the door, pepper sprayed me, tased me twice, knocked my legs out from under me with his baton, and started pounding my face into the asphalt. Somewhere along there, I lost control of my Samsung. I was taking
Wow. Okay, so wait a minute. So he was on your property.
Yes.
And you asked him what was going on.
And he said
on
nothing.
Your property, and he
was
said
sitting
nothing.
there on the phone.
He attacked you.
Smiling, talking on the phone. And I was like, hey, what's going on? He turns around and looks. He's still smiling. He looks. He recognizes it's me standing there with the phone. His face just goes straight to, just straight anger. And he sets the phone down, opens the door, and he didn't even have the door all the way open. And that can of pepper spray came up and hit me in the face. And I was like, what are you doing? And then he hit me in the chest with the taser, and I didn't go down. And I was like, why are you doing that? And then he hits me again with the taser, and I turn my back to him to protect myself. I'm like, why are you doing that? And all of a sudden, my leg gets hit. I thought at first he kicked my legs out from underneath me, but I still have torn muscles in my leg, and you can actually feel the bar from where he grabbed his baton. That as it's healed from just being a huge mass, the actual tear in the muscle is a straight bar line from where he hit me in the calf with that baton, and that dropped me to the ground. And then he started pounding my face into the ground, and he was sitting on my back and put my face in the ground. He called for backup, and right in there is when I lost track of my phone. He kind of got off of me for a second, and I couldn't figure out what he was doing. And I'm pretty sure that that's when he smashed my phone. I don't know if he smashed it with his baton or what he did. But luckily, with a phone like that, and I have them all on, like, Where's My Phone, the Google app. That phone lost contact at the exact point of my arrest, at the exact time of my arrest, and has never been seen again. So it should be fairly decently easy for a jury to understand what happened to my phone. He also took my belt and my flip-flops. And then when he ends up arresting me for a PI because I had been drinking. Like, I was having a couple of beers on my tractor. Actually, I was drinking some champagne because I fell asleep too early the night before. So he used that as his excuse.
But you're still on your own property, and he's trespassing, and he attacks you.
Yes.
So I mean, that's no matter what.
Exactly. But on top of that, he just opened the door to the car and attacked me. Like, there's no way that you could be like, oh, I think he was publicly intoxicated. Dude, you opened the door to the car and just beat the shit out of me. The fact that you could smell that there was alcohol on me after you beat the tar out of me has nothing to do with the actions you took, you know. And I was on my own private property having a beer. If you can't drive your tractor and have a beer at the same time, we need to get some things fixed in America.
Right, and especially if you're on your own property.
That's
too.
what I'm saying, man. Like,
all right, so this next one is body cam, 3 cop watchers.
Yes.
And I find in this paperwork that you've provided, which is your lawsuit,
yeah,
the sentence or number .35. Caldwell admits to watching quote unquote First Amendment auditor live videos and then quote unquote warning officers of their presence as if their camera is a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah, and I think that information actually comes mostly from this next video, but then also my lawyer has access to body cam that I haven't watched. He's got a whole bunch of stuff that I haven't seen. I was just there when it happened. So, yeah. So, and then also in February, he arrests me for impeding for filming, and then he tries to give me a PI on that, and I ask them for a breathalyzer and whatnot. So they always go for a PI because it's a mandatory 22-hour hold because he knows I'm going to bond out. So he loves throwing that PI in there just because they don't. It doesn't require any proof. They can just say it. They just say it. And so I've gotten really good at making sure that I ask for a breathalyzer on camera. And actually, before we go out and never mind. I'm not going to throw all that out there. I'll let them trap themselves on that. So at any rate, you got. I have a reasonable amount of protection. Let's just say for myself because I'm a pretty quick study on what they're doing. So and I don't know if we're going to sue on that February incident or not. It's not included in this lawsuit, but I'm going to be meeting with CJ tomorrow, and I will probably sue on the February incident as well. But now we're moving to the March incident where he arrests me, good citizen, and concerned citizen.
Okay. All right. So let's present this one. Let's make it big.
And we'll have to skip through some of this. This is over an hour of video. But
what we got going on here is the body cam from the arrest of me, Good Citizen News, and Concerned Citizen on March of 2023.
That's also
Officer Stewart here is driving while watching the YouTube and will actually use both of his hands to scroll through it before he shuts it off. We're waiting for it to chime in.
Can everyone hear that well? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear it okay.
Okay, am I back there, guys?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. I was going to say, let's notice that this officer is actually watching YouTube while responding to a call, and not just it's open in his hands. He actually manipulates it because we have a lot of accidents with these officers on the island. They kill a couple people a year.
Okay.
But you can see them kind of chatting about what was going on, conspiring a little, in my opinion, creating some false narratives. But we'll let you watch this through. I muted out some of the beeps from when they did their edit, and we'll just kind of let this play on in, and I'll add a few pop-ups here and there.
Did you know you could be entitled to a 5- or 6-figure payout if you were in a traffic collision?
Never fails. We get the commercials.
They know where to put them.
First Amendment auditors.
Oh yeah, we know. I warned your officers.
Huh?
I drove by and warned them. I saw them pulling up because they stopped by on my stop before they came over here.
So right there, oh yeah, we warned them. Yeah, there's First Amendment auditors, people with cameras. It's a horrible thing.
Yeah,
it's
so
so dangerous.
This is Officer Stewart, and as we get into this, we'll find out that I had just been threatened, and he was sitting around the corner, and he knew that I'd been threatened, and they do nothing about it. That's in the lawsuit.
Wow.
Yeah, I just asked him to step back, but this guy over there, he said the guy was threatening him. He was telling him that
I was watching it live around the corner. On their screen, yeah. That's Bruce Redmond. He's pissed off that we've arrested him, and the lieutenant had to pepper spray him and tase him or something. So guys just started doing this stuff.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
See how that qualified immunity works, Rick? Is the driver still on that? No, they're gone. We're just waiting for a coach on that. Okay. It was the one in the middle here. He was threatening. Hey Bruce, were you being threatened? Yes, sir. Who was threatening you? Guy in the white shirt. You want to pursue criminal? You want to pursue criminal charges? Not at this point. Okay. Well, he's just rattling his mouth off still, and you just walk over there and take care of it. No, not really. He's got the right. He's got freedom of speech, man. Did he threaten you? Did he threaten to do bodily harm to you? Just like you.
Yeah, you notice how they don't want to act when somebody else is threatening violence. They just and I noticed that, Bruce, you're saying no, not at this point. I mean, all he's doing is making threats. I don't need to press charges. So you're giving the guy grace, and yet these guys are.
Yeah, I was trying to be cool about it. I get that he's upset, and I get that people can be emotional. Like, I'm not trying to throw some citizen under the bus for having an opinion, you know? Now, he's making a terroristic threat across the street. I mean, that's disorderly conduct 1,000%, okay? And it's been observed by multiple officers, okay? But...
And that they focus on you guys instead.
But they're over there giving me a ration of crap because, you know, I'm filming them. And you'll also notice, I'm not sure if it went by or not, but because this is Stewart's cam, he puts his arm on top of his body cam, and I didn't realize it when I watched him do it. I thought it was weird that he would cross his arms that way. It mutes the microphone without actually muting the microphone. So they've moved to a different system now, but these guys are really good at manipulating these body cams.
Yeah.
I was in the corner watching it on the live stream.
So he was hoping we didn't hear that part.
Actually, it gets worse here in a second.
I've already checked the plate on the drive, and I followed him, then probably looked for a traffic violation. Then they pulled over here. Where they parked it.
Did we just hear him giggle?
Yeah, they're giggling
about you guys.
Yeah, he's giggling about how he was following me around and how perfectly I drive, because he's actually been he admits that he's been following me around trying to pull me over for something.
Wow.
Right there, I've worked through every song.
Just look at that, how he's covering up that camera, folks.
So when he talks crap to her, it's a problem. We talk
But Cliff, don't you know he's trying to protect Galveston Island Transparency's privacy?
Yeah, yeah, right. They're trying to protect themselves, is what they're doing.
Yeah. So I think that this escalates fairly quickly right here. So he's watching Caldwell go over there. So good citizen and concerned citizen go over there. I'm actually running live. And if anybody goes to my channel, you can see my live take on this too.
Definitely put mods. Definitely put his link in the channel so people can go over there, subscribe, and.
As soon as they start arresting them, things pick up, and then we'll be able to fast forward through quite a bit of this stuff.
Okay.
There's me
goes
going.
Bruce.
Yep. I'm going over to cover their 6 because I see Caldwell going after him.
And who's the guy's body cam that's basically following you now?
So that's still Stewart.
Okay.
Caldwell hasn't turned his body cam on. Caldwell won't turn his body cam on until after arrest.
Wow.
Yeah, he does this a lot.
Getting broken. All right, guys. Hey, don't tweak my wrist, fucker.
Hey, bud.
You
Hey,
shut
bud.
up.
Hey, I'm gonna take your watch off so I don't cause damage or anything to it, okay? So, he's my boss, man.
Come on, man.
He's my boss, man.
Come on, you know this is wrong. You know this
I'm
is
not
wrong,
doing this
sir.
to he is. Hey, I'm gonna put this in your
You know
pocket.
this
Or do
is
you
wrong,
want me-
though.
Hey, look.
Come on, man.
Hey, listen, hold on real quick. Do you want me to put this in your pocket or you may give it to
Well,
Rich?
I can't file it.
So I'm your friend, man. I'm just doing this. He's doing this, not me. He's doing this.
So while I can't file it, this guy right here, concerned citizen, he has a very, very good claim for Officer Stewart for dereliction of duty, because Officer Stewart is saying right here that he knows that this is wrong. He doesn't want to be doing it. He doesn't want anything to do with it. And it's in their SOP that at this point, Sergeant Stewart should be on the radio asking for somebody higher than Lieutenant Caldwell to come and take a look at this incident because it is wrong. He needs a captain out here fast.
Yeah, but he didn't do it.
But he didn't do it, and that
follow orders from the boss. You know.
Yeah, he was following his boss's orders. So why should he have to call someone higher than his boss?
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
the Nazis were just following orders too, knowing that what they were doing was wrong. So.
Look, sir, you know this is wrong. Okay, look, I'm not fighting. I'm not resisting.
I know you're not. Just calm down, okay? Just stay calm for me, okay? I know you're not.
Just let me violate your rights.
I
Stay
do have a
calm.
gun on my side, bro.
A gun?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Look, come on, sir. You know this is wrong.
So I'm kind of
You know this
missing
is wrong.
some of this right here,
We're
just
on a
because
public
it's from
sidewalk,
his
sir.
body cam. But Caldwell is over there whooping up on Good Citizen, and you can see that in my live.
Yeah, I can hear Good Citizen yelling about it too.
Yeah. So what? Instead of like actually beating on him, he grabbed him by his handcuffs, and he's walking Good Citizen with his hands actually over the top of his head behind his back, and then pushes him against the car, and he gets pretty violent with him. So some of this stuff with him, we can probably fast forward a little bit of this, because concerned citizen tries to reason with him, and really it's 20 minutes
all the way through. I heard it all this morning. It's just so if you
It's
folks
just-
want to go see this video, be sure and subscribe and go watch
So
it.
if we go back though, if we go back a little bit, let's get to my arrest. Go back a little bit more. Oh wait, or is that him? No, that's
him still. Yeah, that's him still. I think here's where we get to you. What does that say? Let me just play it real quick. See what we got.
Did Bruce before, and he's never given me a problem.
Nope. We'll go forward.
You can fast forward to the point that it goes dual screen because Caldwell arrested me on his camera.
Okay.
Well, maybe it doesn't. Okay, let's see where we're at there. Sorry, I was gonna look for this morning and I forgot.
Let's do this.
Yep, that's exactly what you're doing. You're on the sidewalk.
Okay, yeah, back up like 30 seconds.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, go to 2222.
You're on the sidewalk.
Right here on the sidewalk, sir.
Yep.
I remember 2222.
Okay.
Yep. There we go. I have a affinity for numbers. I'll remember that.
And that's when I told him, look, you're a waste. Your mother should have swallowed you. You
Well,
know, you're just
and
a
that's
waste
the
of
thing,
thing.
man. They're just out here causing problems, and then they.
You know, and he's filming. He said,
You're just causing.
You ready?
Yeah, so he's talking to the guy across the street.
Stay over there.
And
Don't come
it
over
turns
here.
out that
Come over here.
part of the reason that this guy gets leniency is because his nephew is GPD.
Galveston PD.
Yeah. So he's GPD family, which is why he's going to get
instigating threats of violence.
Yeah, he's
he gets
instigating
the
threats
slide.
of violence, and he's going to get the slide.
Here anyway, so I kind of figured you guys would see when he was coming over here, just trying to get footage, you know, whatever. he
Yeah,
was trying
they
to
shouldn't
do,
be
but
doing nothing.
all that, and it had nothing to do with them.
It's against the
We
law.
originally thought they were with you guys.
No, man, they come and bother us all the time.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, they do this. Man, they do this 2 or 3 times a month.
When did they have a whole channel and
They
everything?
got channels on YouTube. If you just go on YouTube and put in Galveston Police Audit, these guys are constantly on there.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Let me go book them, but
All right,
thank you guys
what
very
was your
much.
name?
Caldwell, Joel
Oh,
Caldwell.
Fabian Sanchez.
Mr.
You'll
Sanchez,
come
thank
by
you.
and see us at the restaurant sometime. We give you guys this.
Hey, man, I will. Thank you.
Oh, you get a discount now. Yeah, give me a break. You get a discount. Oh, yeah.
I'll go have to check that out on YouTube. So, I mean, is he going to go check it out to be turned to the side of the 1A auditors, or is he going to go check it out to be,
I don't have many successful trolls, so I don't think he came in.
Guaranteed he's going to be on the other side because, his family's cops. And, yeah.
And this still isn't 2 years, so I'm actually kind of curious, since I have all this, if I can file these charges on him or not. Because I'm sorry, I don't give a shit. I'm filing charges on people that do crap like this and get beneficial treatment.
Yeah, I think
they need to be taken care of.
They need to some consequences to their actions. There needs to be some accountability for what
They
they're
need
doing.
to be humble.
Yep, they do.
Hey, I'll take you back, Bruce. You're on the sidewalk.
Right here on the sidewalk, sir.
Yep, that's exactly what you're doing. You're on the sidewalk. You're
I am on the
absolutely right.
sidewalk.
You're on the sidewalk. You can't do that.
What are you talking
can't
about?
do
You're
that?
impeding the sidewalk. That's correct.
I'm not impeding
Put it down.
anything. Hey guys, he's hooking me up now.
You're intoxicated as usual too.
I'm
I
not
can smell
intoxicated. You're out of
I can smell
control. No, I am not intoxicated.
Well, that reminds me of another cop, Olstein. I smell alcohol.
Yep. All they have to do is say it.
Yep. I smell alcohol. You're going to jail.
Here we go, guys. Same old.
Even the other guy that threatened you, they have a nice cordial
Okay.
conversation.
Told you not to impede the
So,
sidewalk.
hang on.
Let you have
Hang
it all
on.
night.
While you were standing there on the sidewalk, it flashed up like a section. So I'm assuming that's a Galveston Island city.
Yeah. So Galveston Island, because of all the parades and the like traffic that they have on their seawall and whatnot, they have a city ordinance for impeding the side.
So
Impeding the
really,
sidewalk.
yeah.
There
And
wasn't anybody
from
walking
reading,
by or trying to get through. He wasn't blocking anybody that I could see.
but from reading that city ordinance, just by standing on the sidewalk, even though the sidewalk is public property,
For
but just
pedestrians.
by standing on the sidewalk, they can arrest you for impeding the sidewalk.
Yeah, I think that law needs to be changed, and I think they need to get that out of there because number one, it's unconstitutional. You know,
Yeah.
that is the most public forum that there is. I mean, that's a traditional public forum.
Yeah.
So he just got his rights violated right there by a city ordinance. It's stupid. Yeah.
And now we're going to start the barrage of my request for breathalyzer. And at one point, he says he'll do it, and he backs out of that because he knows it'll be goose eggs.
Yeah, yeah. He knows it'll be 0.0. Surprised they didn't do blood work.
They won't on these.
Hop up.
I've asked multiple.
Now you said I'm intoxicated. You're intoxicated.
No, let's go and take a breathalyzer.
Slam my foot in the door.
Hey, LT, can I talk to you for a second?
Nope.
Please.
Talk to me in court.
All right, so this is more this clip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can move forward. If anybody watches this, this is this guy's first arrest, his first time auditing, and he tries very hard to talk his way out of this.
Just to get a citation or something, you know? 'Cause he had to see a dentist the next morning.
Yeah, and really, you could cite anybody. Any of these citations that they're giving us could be cite and release.
Yeah.
And they're choosing.
Caldwell won't have it though. He's
Yeah.
got to nip these guys in the bud right now. Get them to stop videotaping.
And that's the thing. If we run up to the retaliatory part of them towing my rig, so gosh, it's like 20 minutes ahead. I don't know how much of that we need to cover. You know, people can actually just go and look at the end of this video. Basically, they hook us all up, and yeah, right about in there where it's dual camera, you can drop into that pretty much anywhere, and we can explain what's going on. That's not me. Alvo did not do that. That's not the Galveston board. So what these guys are doing right now is they're trying to figure out how to tow my van, and they end up going back across the street to their buddy and getting a tape measure. And my van, according to city ordinance, was parked 6 inches too far away from the curb. These curbs are so tall you can't even open your door, so I had to park away from the curb in order to let the guys out to go film. And they tow it, and it's just crazy retaliatory.
That process is the punishment.
And
they steal your vehicle too.
And they sit there and they have a little conversation about why this new guy is there. And Caldwell's like, oh, he sees it on YouTube and he thinks it's cool, but he'll learn. We'll teach him. He'll learn. You know, Stuart says, man, I've dealt with Bruce before. He seems like.
I think it's getting that time of day down there with Starlink.
Yeah,
and that's what he has as
So now I'm back. So now we could probably go to the fact that I filed a really decent lawsuit on these guys with CJ Grisham.
Yep. So do we want to pull up more paperwork? Is that what we're doing, or?
I mean, we could. Nikki, do you think? I don't know how much it's pertinent, but we could slow scroll it so that anybody who wants to could pause and read through it.
Yeah.
Sure. Give me just a second.
Yeah, no worries.
You want me to get rid of this video here?
Yeah, that's fine. If anybody wants to see more of that, they can. And my live, while it's grainy and choppy, is reasonably more entertaining because I'm more entertaining to listen to than Caldwell.
Yes, I think you are too. You do have a great sense of humor.
I try.
We were on the phone for about an hour yesterday, and we were both just laughing like crazy. It was like he kept coming up with
having a good time. Having a good time. Yeah, but
okay, I'm gonna bring us down off the panel so it'll be full screen.
Perfect.
Cool. Yeah,
and
because
just scroll down.
We can just kind of scroll through it, I guess. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, here is the case number, civil action number, and you know, who all it is versus, which is the city of Galveston plus
Correct.
these different officers. And then the complaint, once again, brought by CJ Grisham. And again, here it explains it is the whole city of Galveston, along with the different officers.
Which is hard to do.
Well, yeah, because it's policies. If they've got policies in place that are not supposed that are violations of the Constitution, then they're liable for all of this stuff too. The city is.
And I've been going to city council meetings and letting them know that the stuff was going on, and they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah. So yeah, they never changed their policies, so they're just as liable. Perfect.
And it seems to me that the one thing that this lawsuit is going after is these interference statutes. You know, because everybody's always been told interference is a physical act. That's what I've always heard. Interference is a physical act, but now we're seeing more and more of our
They're
auditors.
trying to say the camera is a interference, and that's just not. I mean, we can't help it if they're squirrels and they've got ADD and can't pay attention to their own stuff. It's not the cameraman's fault that they do that.
Right. Yeah, and then of course the jurisdiction and the venue. Venue is proper. They do occur in Galveston County. It describes Galveston Island transparency. And right here is another key sentence. Has a substantial interest in protecting his civil rights and not having them violated by government officials.
Yep.
I mean, we could change that to anybody's name, not just Galveston Islands.
Yeah.
This is all the defendants. They are government officials and entities. And they do operate in the city of Galveston, Galveston County, Texas. And right here, number 15, defendants are not permitted to establish rules that violate the United States Constitution. And then every citizen has the constitutional right to engage in free press on matters of public interest.
Which is exactly what you were doing.
Yeah. Then we get into the statements of facts for each one, which, you know, they're kind of interesting, but I think we kind of covered that in the videos. But getting down to the charges, I love that part.
Now, there is a footnote here about the flashlight.
So, CJ and I kind of talked about this, and that's one thing that I want to be brought over into the 10th Circuit from the 5th Circuit, or from the 5th Circuit, from the 10th Circuit, is that Irizarry versus Yahia rule.
Okay. Make the 5th Circuit rule on it as well.
Yes.
Yes,
to make that unconstitutional to spotlight our cameras.
Yep. Yeah, it's prior restraint. You're trying
exactly.
to.
So we're trying to get that basically brought over as that prior restraint. You know, trying to fit as much little bit of case law in each one of these as we can, so that when it happens to the next guy, they can't plead qualified immunity because they're going to try. Didn't mean to cut you off. You get a little.
Oh, gee.
Wait, right here. He was transported to jail but never formally charged with interference or any other crime.
On the boat ramp one, They
Yeah.
never charged me with anything. They threw me in jail and everything. They never dropped a single charge on me for that.
They just like to put you in jail.
Definitely. That's why they're doing all the PIs. I'm fighting a pile of them because anytime they see me and they don't like what I'm doing, they're like, oh, I smell alcohol. It's Galveston Island. If you can smell, you smell alcohol. There is a bar every 4 feet around here.
And so what? Just because they can smell, if they can
There's
smell
nothing
alcohol,
illegal
so what?
about it. It's not even illegal to be drunk in public. It's illegal to be drunk in public and a danger to yourself and or others.
Yeah.
You have to be drunk to the point that you're endangering people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just not even an issue.
Otherwise, it's just throwing people in jail just because you want to throw them in jail, which they do, because you are a auditor.
Exactly.
It's fair retaliation, and it's very blatant, and it's simple to see.
And it's just their simple thing is they're like, oh, if you see Bruce doing his thing, just find something, and if you can't find anything, throw him in on a PI.
Yep. Pure retaliation.
I think CJ did a pretty decent job of throwing this together.
Okay, and then here, Caldwell informed Mr. Redman in jail, and this might be something you guys need to bring up to Myron.
Yeah.
Cliff.
Yeah.
Caldwell informed Mr. Redman that he, quote, would arrest every person coming over the causeway to video, unquote.
And I do believe that we have that. I've been told by Internal Affairs, Galveston Internal Affairs, that video is available. I thought that it had been deleted and wasn't available. He also told me that he could have shot me on my own property.
Wow.
And that's on video too.
On your private property that he was trespassing on. Yeah.
He wasn't technically trespassing, but
all you would have had to say is you're trespassing. This is my property.
But it's a joint easement. So in the fairness of the law, I think we would have all had to say that technically.
Okay.
But yes. I'm just trying to keep it straight. It's transparency, not Galveston Island transparency. Galveston Island covered Bruce's ass. So
right.
So yeah, first claim, fifth claim, just go down. The fact that they, neglected services, beating my ass. And I love that we did not bother asking for a dollar amount on this. We asked for a jury to decide. Because I'm not.
Right here.
Yep.
So you're not gonna even go for any kind of a settlement. You want a jury?
I mean,
trial?
if they offer me like 3.5 million, it's going to be pretty hard not to take it. Don't get me wrong. But I have a sneaking suspicion that they're not going to offer me 3.5 million.
Yeah.
I
have a
do
sneaky
this for the
suspicion
money.
though,
I do this to make sure. I do this to prove a point, and
you want changes made. You want changes made. Yep.
And the harder I push this, the more change is going to be made, and the more case law is going to. And that's the thing is, if they want to say, hey, we'll change this and this and this, and if I have to suck up some of the cash benefits for actual change, then I'll do it. I mean, that's cool. Yeah. Make it right. I mean, I'm having a hard time because I would love for 10% of it to have to come from their personal pockets, or even 5% to come from their personal pockets. That way, when it all gets said and done, even the officer on the street says, hey, you know what? Even though we're indemnified and, the union's going to cover all of our stuff and whatnot, it got in that lawsuit that, Caldwell still had to give the guy 10 grand out of his own pocket. That will make change.
Yeah.
Officers are going to be like, man, I'm not giving up a car payment over this. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If it costs them $10, it would be enough to make them think twice.
Yeah. And if anybody's had any questions, I don't know. I got so enthralled in watching these videos. Nikki, did you see anybody ask any questions in the chat?
No, there's not been any questions.
Okay. If anybody has any, just go ahead and put them in the chat. big bold print question and then ask the question, and we'll star them here at the end. Got one more video that we want to play here.
So this is kind of like my little icing on the cake is them being this way and them acting this way and backing me into the corner. I had to learn how to fight, and I had to learn my rights. And because of that, this is a video that I took Friday, and yeah, let's play this through. And these officers now recognize that they're gonna have to treat me different.
Yep.
They still
and you just published this one today too.
Yeah,
I watched it earlier today. So, but yeah, let's play it. Let's show how these auditors are trying to give the public, the general public, an education on their rights.
Hey man, I already gave you a warning. Stop.
We'll pull the body cam and see it. You lied to her. 3802. She don't have to ID unless she's being arrested. And you know that. I told her that, and then you call me a liar and an instigator. Do your job right, man.
This call was for a lady in a green shirt arguing with employees, apparently over some food or an order, but you can hear her explain it pretty well. So let's let her do her thing.
I said what I said, and that's when you start saying what you said, and I started saying what I said about his apron and him being fat and stuff. So that's when he said, well, I'm gonna give you your money back. I said, that's fine, give me my money back. But he was really taking forever trying to play on her, because she was trying to give him the other change amount. He said, nah, she said, I'm gonna give you the whole amount back so you get my whole 10 back. He being petty about it, so I said something about that. She really ain't saying nothing to him. So that's just I called police. I said, well, baby, call them. I'm gonna call them too then. So I mean, what? I mean, you said you gonna get a refund. Just tell her get a refund. She giving you the whole amount. Just give the whole amount back.
Did she get the refund?
Yeah, she got it.
So y'all are good?
Yeah, I'm good. So I call him on myself. I feel bad. I got no. You can call him. I mean, he called him. I mean, you just wasting their time to come out here.
And you're right. That should be the end of it right there.
Yep, they trespassed her. She said, we got our money. We're leaving. That's it. Everything that legally needs to be done in this situation and overseen by these peace officers is done and complete.
I said I called. That's y'all 30 minutes back.
All right, how you guys doing?
Yeah, I got my refund. Yeah. No, I don't even live out here, so that's the thing. He got smart. I got smart back. Because for one, you're not going to get smart with me when I'm ordering something. So you said something had smart. I said something back. You came and approached me. I live in Houston. No, I'm saying I won't come back to this McDonald's no more. I don't live out here. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I was just believe anyway.
You don't need to give an ID for a trespass. You don't need to give an ID for a trespass. No, you don't need to give an ID for a trespass. You've been told, and you can leave. You don't need to give an ID for a trespass.
Don't give them an ID for trespass.
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying.
Hey man, so this is your warning. Stop.
You're
We're
right.
not
I
going
don't
to
have
take
the
our
ID
attention
because
off
I
of it,
really
okay?
didn't do nothing.
Right there, she says she knows she don't have to give her ID.
This is your warning.
Yeah. But that lady,
like you're interfering, but you're really not. You're just having a conversation. You're just telling the
yeah,
people what
and that lady knew. She, as soon as I said it, she's like, you know what? You're right. I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't need to give you my ID. She knows her rights enough to know that I'm right, but they will bulldog her through it.
Yeah.
Texas Penal Code 38.02 does say that you don't have to give your ID unless you are arrested.
Hey man, I already gave you a warning. Stop. You're taking our attention off the dam to address you.
I'm just talking to my people on here. You don't have to listen to me.
I know, I really don't. So if you say that's about me, I'm not going to myself.
He's not a police officer.
I know, but by law, I just you say you already gave my food, and there was no problem. So
Hey, let's go over here, have a private conversation so I can lie to you and tell you that you have to ID.
Exactly. I ran his ass for it later. I ran into
They still wanted us to.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know. I don't know.
He's over there lying to her, bro. I'm getting
You're gonna lie? Look at that. We don't need that. Mhm.
Now, if she'd have had any wants or warrants, she'd be going to jail.
Exactly.
Because that's what they're doing is they're going to run her, and they're going to put her in the system.
Yeah, I hit on that here a little bit towards the end.
Like I said, I'm not even familiar. And exactly, and then I'm not familiar, like I said, so it's not a big deal. Can you start recording?
She could have a warrant because she forgot to cut her grass.
No, it's not.
And now she's become a bootlicker.
Yep.
Yeah. And you know, they need to realize that the First Amendment auditors are out there for their protection and to try to educate them when they're
And she was
interacting
with it in the beginning.
these
Like
people that are not their friends.
Yeah. She was with
No
it in the
matter-
beginning. She knew I was there to help her, but
Yeah.
but they talked her out of it. I mean, that pressure. She's on vacation. She don't want to deal with this shit.
Yeah. They talked to her, and they said they were acting like they're friends. So, you know, if they're friends. They're not going to do anything to me until they do.
Like, I don't want to be on internet. You can Facebook. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, he just said that he just like
Texas Penal Code 38.02 is the one that needs to be looked up. That's for sure. Just like we deal with officers telling people illegal things.
I was gonna go in. Oh, I was just saying I don't want to go in there no more. I mean, it's not a deal. I know. It's like $1. I don't know what I'm saying. It's not. That's all we said. I said it's fine. That's why you see my car plus I pulled up. You see no comfort. He had the hospital. I don't know. It's usually because they deal with a lot of like, you know what I mean? That's probably why. Yeah, that's probably why. Because I told him I'm not like your customer service is like, and when he said I'm like, I'm gonna say what I said because I'm not gonna.
You're good.
Because I'm saying something to you because they're in that lab. I'm not saying that they're I'm saying you gotta be specific. Because I'm the one that you work for, you know. Hey, at least you got your money. Yeah, I ain't got my money back. I just want my money back. I just want my money. I was hungry.
Yeah, they ran him through the system now. Yep. So now she's been handled on the island.
Yeah, he said no refund.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she doesn't even realize that the GPD just put her in the system. So if anything happens to her while she's on vacation, she is now a known adjective.
All right.
And this is what happened. I'm so embarrassed. We just got here. All right. No, he's good. All right.
So we'll have to get the body cam for that. I'm curious what he said to her because he lied to her about something. He definitely lied to her. Otherwise, she wouldn't have given him her ID. Yeah, they're over here running all of her information now. And then she just told him that she's going to be on the island all weekend and where she's staying. So they'll be on the lookout for her. You have your name and badge for the record.
Neo 1031.
There we go. We'll see you later. Lie to some more people about whether or not they have to ID. Why you got to lie to people about why they got to ID? Yeah, after you lied to her, we'll pull the body cam and see it. You lied to her, 3802. She don't have to ID unless she's being arrested, and you know that. I told her that, and then you call me a liar and an instigator. Do your job right, man.
And that's it. They really, it is like it's like a major drug. Got to get that ID.
Yeah, they're just taught and trained to get that ID no matter what. So I actually run into him later because they
all
pulled me
know you. I noticed he said, "Oh, okay, Bruce." They all know who you are.
They know me very, very well, and you know, he always treats me that way. He knows that, you know, what's up. But when I talked to him later, he's like, "No, I appreciate you keeping us honest." And you know, he admits that he had to go back and check out his penal code and whatnot, and he was doing his best not to admit that he screwed that up. You know, but that's kind of interesting. I'll have to get that one off a body cam because there was a different recording situation going on there that didn't work out well. So
Now, see, what I like, Bruce, is that you have taken us basically from your first days as an auditor and how you've gotten better throughout your quote unquote career. But not only have you gotten better, you are actually following up. You are filing the complaints. You are, you know, talking to the officers afterward. And like you just said, he had to admit he was, you know, he had to go look that up.
Oh, he can't admit it on camera, but he knew.
Yeah, actually, he did it on body cam, actually, and he did it in front of a camera later. Yeah, he did it in front of it later. They pulled me over for a third brake light, and I used attorney shield. Okay, so I'm trying to get that video, and I'll tell you what, I pulled that attorney shield up, and Officer Murph, who was at that other incident, Officer Murph was like, "I'm not talking to somebody on a phone," and I was like, "That's my attorney." And then I talked to my attorney after that, not him, for the most part. And then Harvey showed up, so these poor cops thought that they were going to get Bruce on something. They get me my third brake light went out somehow, you know, whatever. So they got me on this fix-it ticket. Now he's standing at my window staring at my my attorney from Attorney Shield, and then Harvey Freebird walks up and we got him pinned, and then his printer went down, so he couldn't do anything. He had to wait for another car to show up to print me my ticket. So he's sitting there holding me, and my attorney's like, "We have now been here for 15 minutes." And dude, Nino is standing right there by the window while it's all going, and he's actually laughing his ass off. He's like, "Man, I actually love you guys," you know, because it's comical. He's like, "Yeah, Murph pulled Bruce over and thought he was going to get him somehow on something, and now Murph's having to talk to an attorney. Cops hate lawyers." So now Murph has to talk to my attorney. Harvey comes back over around the corner, and he's filming up harassing me. And Nino's just sitting there, and he's like, "Man," he's like, "You guys are great." He's like, "You're holding everybody accountable. You're making sure we know our penal codes, you know, and like, you know." So I'm gonna get that body cam too. I've got some to request. That's an ongoing case because it has not yet been dismissed. I have to buy a new third brake light. So
yeah. But anyway, Long Island Audit was even saying that Attorney Shield might not be a good thing for auditors to have, but maybe he'll start using. Maybe your thing he'll use as an advertisement now.
Well, and if I were to use it for auditing, it's not meant for that. I get where he's going with that, but it was meant for that traffic stop, and it worked great because even though we're having a little bit of an issue with the video, something skipped and fuddled, and they said come Monday the support team should be there to see if they can recover it. It still did its job where Murph quit messing with me, you know, and you know, staring at an attorney is something cops do not like.
Yeah, they're intimidated by an attorney, not you. They want to get you, but when you got an attorney right there in front of their face, They're like, oh.
Oh yeah, he was hoping he was going to be able to get up to that window and give me a ration of shit and get me to do something, and so that he could do something. I was like, I just held up my phone. I was like, there you go. That's yeah, there you go. For drag effect, I was like, there you go. And he's like, I'm not talking to the man on the phone. I was like, that's my attorney. And that was it. He was pissed.
I love it.
Yeah. So
did we get any questions from the audience, folks? Anybody have any questions for Galveston Island Transparency, or did we cover everything so well that it was pretty straightforward, to the point, and
in our 2-hour live, we hit it
Yeah.
right on the button, didn't we?
Yeah, from what I can see, we had it all set up so well that there's really not any questions. I mean, in the chat, they have been talking about the qualified immunity House bill that right now is in the Judicial Committee. Yeah, and they did say, Dale Elliott did say the money is all they understand. When the suit settlements are so high that they cannot afford to pay the government employees and mayor is the only time it will change.
well, when people's taxes go up and they can feel it in their wallets.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure it hurts, so that they make the changes that are needed.
I'm really hoping for a large settlement, not just for me, but for what it means. Exactly for those reasons, because then I can get on there and be like, hey, this is how much your government had to give me because they're doing their job wrong. Can you imagine what we could have done with that as a city?
Yeah.
And if the settlement's big enough, there's some things that I want to give to, like
as far as the community goes, you want to give back.
Yeah, I want to give back to our community, and I'd like to give back to the project that the one that you guys did the
Angry Vet.
Yes, yeah.
Scars. Yes.
Scars, the nonprofit.
Yeah, Scars. I really like what he's doing there, because I've been trying to figure out for the last year how to start a nonprofit where people can take their community service and help people fight their cases pro se. So not necessarily on a lawyer side, but giving them information, organizing information in a way like these PI things. Galveston loves these PIs with all the bars and this and that. If they see anything going on they don't like, they just PI people, and then they give them deferred judgments because the people are out of town. So they say, hey, if you don't get in trouble here for 6 months and just give us $500, they roll. So, if somebody gets out of hand, they just steal $500 from them, throw them in jail for a night, and it's ridiculous. And these people don't know how to fight it. And I think if there was a pamphlet, not necessarily giving legal advice, but showing how these cases have been successfully defended pro se before, you know what I mean? To kind of an outline of steps that you could take and try and defend it pro se. And I think that would be a great way for people to spend their community service hours, is putting together those pamphlets and trying to figure out how to organize that information and do something like that. And I think that's very much along the lines of what the Scars is intended to do. I know that he's.
Yep, he does have that division already in the works. Scars is a great organization. I know Cliff and I are part of it. And that's kind of what we were looking to do with our channel, was to not only highlight our boots on the ground, but to figure out how we can get everyone to support you guys, to do the background work that needs done for you guys.
Yeah, and not just the First Amendment auditing community either. It's for any citizen out there that has their civil rights violated.
Touche.
We want to help.
Yeah, because to some extent, I'm just a mouthpiece. I'm what you
You're
see.
exposing the things. You're
Yeah,
exposing.
but also what you see on the internet and be like, this is what I need to figure out. But if I don't have a place for them to be able to say, hey, get a hold of these people can help you, because I can't help everybody. You know,
Right.
I try and help the people around here, but you know, I've got a couple of people that I'm working with right now, and I end up on an hour-long conversation here and an hour-long conversation there, and the day moves on. I've got companies that I'm running outside of this. You know, I don't really make much money on this. I don't post enough to really make money on my channel. I do it for, you know, because I believe in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I think that was very well said right there, and I think we can end the stream with that. I do want to thank everybody for coming in today, and thank you, Galveston Island Transparency, for joining us, and thank you for also posting this on your community page and getting some people over. We really do appreciate it, and it was wonderful having you today. Do you have anything else you want to add, Nikki?
The only thing I want to add, same thing, thank you guys for being here and for supporting not only our channel, but Galveston Island Transparency, along with all the rest of our activists and auditors. Guys, the email has been posted. If you are an activist or an auditor and you want to be featured, give us an email. Any of our supporters, go ahead, send us an email about story ideas. We do have a few that we need to cover, and we are working on that. But like I said, I just thank you guys for sharing your Sunday afternoon with us, and be safe out there.
And of course, make sure you like, subscribe, and share Galveston Island Transparency's work, as well as hit the like button for us as well. Share all of those things. And with that all said, let's do this outro.
I love.
In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred land. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. Through the storms and the darkest night, we'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight. For the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. Through the storms and the darkest night, we'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight. For the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the quiet of the night, we'll keep the watch, we'll hold on tight. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll stand tall. Together we'll rise, together we'll fall. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee, we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. spirits run free. We'll stand together, hand in hand, watching over this sacred land.